All right, let's get this show started.
UFC light heavyweight king Alex Pereira has touched down in Sydney, Australia. Prior to UFC 312, Strickland asked Pereira if he would corner him. Poatan happily agreed. Now he's rolling with Team Strickland, showing support for his friend in his upcoming second battle against the South African DRICUS du Plessis.
Chama!
Chama ou não chama?
Let's get it! Let's get it!
Tamo junto, hein? Tá no código da família. Chama, chama!
Chama!
In another Instagram story, Poatan stepped on the scale, revealing a weight of 235 pounds.
Muitos anos de vida, come here, come here.
You come with you, we in the fourth floor in the hotel.
Alex, come on. Muitos anos de vida.
Pereira was also seen sparring with UFC featherweight Diego Lopes. Sean Strickland's UFC 312 media day was as wild as you'd expect. The former UFC middleweight champion has built a reputation for being an unpredictable force outside of the octagon, always managing to keep everyone on their toes. Just days before his title fight rematch with DRICUS du Plessis, Strickland was caught on camera falling off a motorcycle. And now, he's launched an explicit rant aimed at top middleweight contender Khamzat Chimaev. Buckle up for this one.
We need to talk about Mr. Chimaev, all right? Let's talk about this fuck. I keep hearing Chimaev this, Chimaev this, Chimaev that, but what does the history and facts say about Chimaev? And you guys are media, you should know this. Chimaev fled Chechnya with his family because, an oppressive warlord dictator that killed people indiscriminately. No hate on him, it's your country. He goes back to Chechnya, he goes back to Chechnya because somebody wants to buy him a G-Wagon, and he's like, oh hey, I'll be that whore. I'll do it, I'll fucking bend the knee for you, man. I like fucking G-Wagons. And then what happens? The leash gets way too tight. And you know what? I think the US government kind of looks at him like a terrorist now. Why? Because people get murdered all the time in Chechnya and they completely violate human rights. So now Chimaev's scared as shit, like, oh man, dude, I wanted to be a whore, but I didn't want to go full tip. Now he fucking flees to somewhere in the sand pit. And now he's hiding out in the sand pit. So, yeah, Chimaev, you can fight. You can fight. You got a beard. But let history record it as you, sir, are a whore. You fled a country, you went back and you got buddy with a dictator and fled again. Doesn't matter how good of a fighter you are and will always be a fucking whore.
Khamzat's responded, posting this photo captioned with laughing emotes. In a Fight Week interview with the UFC, Sean Strickland admitted that Alex Pereira isn't only motivated by lending him a hand this Saturday night. Strickland said that Poatan also came to support him because he hates DRICUS du Plessis, although Sean doesn't know why. Yet, speaking with Mark Boris recently, DDP praised Alex, saying, I think he is one of the greatest combat athletes to ever live. He is a phenomenal athlete to go in a short period of time from a different sport, and not just a different sport, kickboxing, which is not a great base for MMA. I have the world's respect for him as a fighter, as a person even. I think we are rivals, but I have the utmost respect for what he's achieved in the sport, and he's truly one of the GOATs to ever not do MMA or in the UFC in combat sports. I think probably the most achieved combat sports athlete the world's ever seen. Pereira will be in Strickland's corner for the fight, and du Plessis was asked what his message to Poatan is. DDP answered, how's it going to feel to be in Sean Strickland's corner losing again? One day when we fight, he'll be 0-2. After another defeat, fans are starting to wonder whether Israel Adesanya should consider retirement at this stage of his career. On the Pound for Pound podcast, co-host KAMARU Usman weighed in on the matter, stating that no, he doesn't think Izzy needs to retire, but should consider changing his approach moving forward. KAMARU feels that his friend has already proven himself against the world's best, and if he plans to keep fighting, he'd prefer to see him take on more fun fights that people would be thrilled to watch.
Tough one. I think both guys look good. And shout out to Imavov. I mean, he's definitely elevated himself to that very, very short list, Henry, of potential next contender for that title. Israel, man, honestly, he's at a point in his career to where, remember, Anderson Silva got to this place where I'm going to pick a fun fight. It's a fun fight. That's a fight that I think is gonna be great. The people want to see that fight because it did show that he can still fight. He was sharp.
UFC bantamweight champion Merab DVALISHVILI has joined up with Team Topuria in preparation for UFC 312 this weekend. Ilya's older brother, Alessandro Topuria, will be making his UFC debut on the preliminary card against Colby Thickness. Merab's just posted a video from inside of the cage, showcasing his bond with his Georgian brothers.
Magar formashi Alexa. Awida. Rate berwas.
Merab პროცოტ ყველამ ერთად თავიდან გამარჯვება საქართველოს სახელი როგორც წარმოაჩინა როგორც სამაგოთ მე ქართული ხალხის სახელით მადლობას გიხდი იმიტომ რომ მე პირადად სიამაყით გავივსე შემდგომას უკვე მაგარი კაცი ხარ.
ჩემი мотиваცია შემოძმავ და ერთად ძმაო ჩემი იგი ალექსია და მე კიდე ჩვენი ბიჭები და საქართველოს სიყვარულში
საქართველოს გაუმარჯოს შემოგევლეთ ყველას მადლობა ყველას ხარდაჭერისთვის და ესეთი ტკბილი და გურიანი ხარდაჭერისთვის და კარგი სიტყვებისთვის შემოგევლეთ ყველას
მადლობა ყველას. ოჩა ალექსი მაგარ ფორმაში შეგენოც მაშინ მე მაშინ რინგენ ხოთო გელიხ სიაშენი გამარჯვებული ხარ მერტის შაბას ჩაგუჭი მე კონტები არის კონტები არ გვაქვს ხო წერცხილი საჭმელი გვაქვს შაბას პარასკე ხოლმე ჩაუბრუნე მისჩევნე ეს ცხიმია მაშინ.
A few months before his Global Fight League debut, former UFC lightweight contender Kevin Lee got hurt pretty bad while sparring. In a video shared to Instagram by Ryzen fighter Magaram Ghassanzadeh, Lee attempted a non-serious flying knee, almost to feint into his sparring partner's space. He dropped his guard while executing the motion, which is when his sparring partner caught him with a mean right hand to the head, nearly face planting. Lee found himself on one knee, wobbly, barely able to stand. Former UFC champion Robbie Lawler intervened, telling Lee to walk it off. Check this. Irish boxer Jono King Kong Carroll has responded to Conor McGregor after the former UFC champion referred to the recent Muslim convert as a carpet licker. Carroll replied, criticizing McGregor for being disrespectful of his religion, writing, "The notorious, we all used to look up to you. Now we're ashamed of the man you are. You became that mask you put on to impress people. Now everyone is just laughing at you, not with you no more. It's embarrassing. I'll pray for you, my brother, and hope you get your shit together for your family's sake." It's time for today's top memes. Third place was posted by Zalifo.
Crazy things happen here.
Second place was posted by Colis. And the top pick was posted by UFC Memery.
It's Ilya Topuria, he's Spanish. Then 155 is Islam. 170, who's 170 champ? That's Bilal Muhammad. Yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah, I think it's probably the first time.
You just said who is the 170 champ.
When you look.
Thanks for watching. If you like the content, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to stay in the talk.